I think ultimately, people are going to get tired of seeing the same thing come up over and over and over again. They'll start seeing patterns, and after a little while, they'll, I think, reduce their dependency on short form information, and they'll use it as the tip of the iceberg to see something with longer form content, and they'll start educating themselves more on the primary source material instead of talking about the derivatives from that. I think that's the issue right now, is that we have interpretations and derivatives on derivatives, and they're not getting to the important material itself. So we need a better way of surfacing the primary source material in a way that is true to both the material and helps people understand it cognitively. And people have they're approaching the same kind of media with different backgrounds. And they can't get the same thing out of it because it's only produced in one way. So I think that we're going to see media produced in multiple different ways that all help people with different backgrounds absorb it to come out with the same information. When I'm consulting to companies, particularly ILP organizations that know MIT and what it has to offer, the process is really to help them on a few different axes, whether it's coming in to help inspire people to think a little bit differently in keynote talks, things like that, or to offer training classes, be able to sit there for 2 days, 3 days on site and make sure that people can learn these techniques I talk about and be able to practice using them, and then practice using them on their work problems, and then be able to step back and reflect on it and say, okay, well, where would this work really well? Where's it going to be hard to implement? And the next step, of course, becomes deeper engagement, helping them implement the stuff in their organization so they can work through the problems in real time, so they can start thinking through some of the complexities, so they can realize that when they get away from the training classes, they can actually start to implement things at the right moment, in the right way. So using new techniques that they've never used before. They may know about it, but they may not realize they can apply it at this great moment. So by helping them with a deeper engagement, I can help customers, and I do help customers to find the right way of starting to use that tool, that set of tools, and then they become independent. And over time, they start doing it naturally as part of their way of operating, and that gives them the ability to combine both the design thinking techniques and leadership skills, both new things that are becoming more popular, as well as traditional techniques that have worked great for years, together effectively in their organization. A lot of companies think that designers help them change the way their products work, and they maybe are unsure how it helps their services component. But the services are just another kind of product. Services are generally a harder product because a lot of it exists in the mind of the consumer. So when the company is only existing in the mind because it's a service that is transactional and that they don't think about the physical product that they're buying or the software product they're using every day, you have to actually do a little bit more work. The same process applies for services organizations as for traditional product organizations. But the ability for a company to be successful is predicated on their understanding that they have to occupy a section of that person's mind differently, through a different approach to connecting with them emotionally and intellectually, to cause strong reactions, strong positive ones, or maybe strong negative ones, where you can say that a service is not for me. So you don't have a confusion between which kind of experiences you want. And when companies are great with the services component, and that can be a hotel is a services experience only, that can be delivery service as well, and maybe there's a small component, like there's an app that you use on occasion, but the service itself is much bigger than just the app, because often companies focus on how to enhance the operations aspect without understanding how to leverage that to make the consumer experience just much more magical. And when they get both things to happen, that's when the services components go right through the roof and kind of almost outweigh the product itself.